Alright, ductless mini split units. First thing everybody wants to know is how much it costs. The problem with how much does it cost is, does that mean with install, without install, without extras, no extras? You get a misconception when it comes from the factory. They say ductless mini split unit, sometimes you get a picture, what you see is what you get. Sometimes you get just a unit, sometimes you only get half of the units. They say install kit, but the install kit isn't everything that you need to install it. That's one thing. So when you say how much does it cost, it's like, all right, you need transportation. How much does it cost for me to get from here to work? All right, do you want a pair of Nike shoes? Do you want a skateboard, a bicycle, an airplane, helicopter, or do you want a space shuttle? So here's the thing, you got to figure that out. I do the same thing. I don't want to sit there and mess with somebody when I say how much does the unit cost, because I know what I'm looking for and they can't tell me the cost. Well, a lot of it does depend. So if you want to do it DIY, here's one thing about that. How much they cost goes probably from $650 on up. And you can get all the way from fancy and aesthetics to just the basics. So you want to be cool, or you want it to look nice on the outside also. Now, that depends on you. So it can go from $650 to $3,000. After that, I mean, you're going to start looking pretty. You want a room, you want the whole house. And I've done a whole house for under $3,000. 1 unit, 2 units, multi-zone. Too many questions. All right, if you want to do it yourself, here's the thing. You got to have a license. If you don't have an EPA license, then you're voided your warranty. So that's the first thing. It costs about $15,000 to get. After that, all the gadgets that you got to have. You got to have your gauges, your install kit, which doesn't include everything to install it. You're going to need a Romex for your disconnect box. Let's use over here. Here's your disconnect boxes. You're going to have some rigids, some of the conduit compounds. You're going to have all kinds of things. LMBs. If you don't have all this little stuff right here, you're going to have Romex. You're going to have little connectors. If you don't have just some of this stuff laying around, you're going to have this stuff to mount the cable, you know. So if you don't have all this, don't even think about it. Just go ahead and pay somebody to do it. After that, you're going to have the disconnect boxes. That's by law. You got to have Freon. You can't just go get Freon without the EPA license. You got to have nitrogen because you got to flush the lines. You're going to have your communication lines. A lot of them don't come with communication lines. So if you don't have those, you have to either Freon lines that comes with it, and then does it or does it not have the ends on it. You're going to have to either put the ends on them, which means you're going to have a flaring kit, or it comes with ends on it already. Last week I spent a week fixing some guy that did it DIY. One of it came from the factory, one of the ends did, and they were faulty. So I had to go through, take out all of his Freon, cut the end off, put on a new end. So you're going to need a pair of pipe cutters, you're going to need a flanging tool. Those are, not real expensive, but you're going to need the PVC pipeline covers if you want it to look good. You're going to need a multimeter, you're going to need continuity meter, unless they're both the same in one. You're going to have a vacuum, you're going to have a port adapter, and that's what I mean. If you don't know what all that stuff is, you have a set of gauges. None of it's really expensive, but you put it all together, it's way too much. So anyhow, as far as cost and doing it yourself, I wouldn't do it yourself. I just spent a couple weeks fixing all that stuff. So that stuff right there, just have that laying around the house and you're good. So about $650 to about $3,000. That'll get a room or even a small house. It goes up from there.